Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since it was out. The government has been getting bigger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto, guys. Today we have a lot to talk about because we need to take a close look at the price action of Bitcoin. If you guys don't know, over the weekend, Bitcoin started another major drop. Right now, we're sitting around $16,100 and change, and as you guys know, we set a new local low on Bitcoin at $15,500 about 2 weeks ago, following the complete and total nuclear meltdown of doomed cryptocurrency exchange FTX.com. Binance acted like they were going to buy them, took one look at that balance sheet, which we later saw, and understandably so, said, nah fam, we're going to not buy that because we'd like to also not go bankrupt. If Binance had bought FTX, whoo-wee, maybe they would have gone under as well. Do apologize for the stream being late today. My wife is sick, so I was helping her. We were at home today because, well, frankly, we got a really late start, and it's my fault, and I apologize, and it's not my wife's fault, but I was helping her also, and anyway, we're here, though, and we got a lot to cover today, and I'm really looking forward to it. Still sick, still very sick. I can barely hear out of my left ear, like, of all symptoms to have. I'm, like, congested, and I have a headache, I can't sleep well, and I can't hear. It's a little bit weird, but either way, we are here. see what I did there, and we've got a great show lined up for you today, and we are very, very excited. Looks like it tells me I'm having a little bit of an issue with the audio, so tell me if there's something wrong with the audio. I think everything's good, so seems like everything's good. We're gonna go ahead and jump onto the chart either way, though, and we're gonna see how it goes. Guys, right now Bitcoin trading at $16,131 and change. Ethereum trading at $1130.69, actually 89. And there's been a lot going on in the cryptocurrency markets over the weekend, especially over here on the price action. We got Lux Algo up right now. We're going to jump into that in a little bit because we got something very special to share with you on Lux Algo here in a minute. But over the weekend, you can see Bitcoin did actually trade to the upside and sideways out of this descending triangle pattern that we've been talking about last week. And it managed to actually break bullish out of it. But, as I talked to you about last week, it didn't have a lot of exuberance. We were even able to see that on Lux Algo, how we were not able to see a buy signal really come in here with a lot of strength. Now, we did see a confirmed buy signal, but as you can see, we barely got away from the EQ cloud. We rejected very easily from the bearish reversal zone a couple of times. And now, Bitcoin was confirmed to go into a strong downtrend right here. We saw a strong sell signal come into play. Then we saw a candlestick drop Bitcoin down below 16.4. And we saw trend catcher turn red. Then we also saw EQ cloud turn red, and we drop down here into the bullish reversal zone, into the bearish zone that indicates bullish reversal if you bounce out of it. And then Bitcoin dropped quite substantially, dropping all the way down to a local low of $15,860, which is almost as low. I'll just go ahead and draw you that line. Almost as low as what we saw take place back here just a couple of weeks ago on November the 9th. If you guys don't remember, I showed you some of my buys on Bitcoin, and one of them is sitting right about where we are right now. I purchased Bitcoin at this level a couple of weeks ago when we were down at these levels. This blue line shows you and denotes where we entered the first half of our second third of investment. So what we ended up doing is we essentially broke up a portion of an investment. I'm not going to tell you the exact number, but it's a large amount of money into 3 investments. We deployed the first third at $18,369 on Bitcoin, and then we also deployed some down here. What did I say? 16,182, I think is what it was. I can show you right here. It was 16,182 was the other level that we deployed our investment in on Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's trading at pretty much the exact same level, and in my opinion, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live, I think that we are currently in a bearish descending triangle pattern, and that bearish descending triangle pattern combined with what we're going to look at on Lux Algo today could indicate another drop to the downside. Have a lot of reasons to believe that we're going to see another major movement to the downside, but we're going to talk about all of that and more in today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live. But first, we've got to go ahead and read some green names. Already got 340 people watching. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Looks like we got J520 being first. And by the way, to whoever asked, Chris Moe said, is this hour later than usual, or am I imagining things? My run this morning was cold and no Jebb. I'm really sorry. Yes, no, you're not imagining things. I am an hour late. I do apologize. I could have been a little bit earlier, but I'm all about timeliness, funnily enough. I guess I'm a hypocrite too, but I wanted it to go live on the hour because we normally go live on the hour, so I was preparing up until 11. So either way, we probably only would have been 15 minutes late. Tell me what you would like me to do in the future on that. Anywho, Jeremy Shorter is the first green name in chat. Said, happy Monday, all. Happy Monday to you. Thank you guys so very much. Good morning. What is all this happy and good morning crap about? Jason Berry said, hey, it's a good morning. It's a good morning to somebody out there. It is. The sun is shining in the sky, and there ain't no clouds in sight. Actually, there's a couple of contrails, but it's a good day. If you guys don't remember, here in my home studio, there is a window right behind this, so I get to look out at the great blue yonder as we stream. We got Jeremy Shorter in chat again. Overcome donated $5. Thank you guys so very much. Mike Lowry said, good morning, everybody. Hashtag FinSolve. Boom, hashtag FinSolve. Everybody said audio is good. Bro, you seem like you've been sick for a while. You might have some mold in that building. It's not that, because this house is not even 4 years old. This is basically a brand new construction. I think I need to get my tonsils removed, if you want the truth. I think I'm getting tonsillitis, which is very annoying because I need to get my wisdom teeth removed, and apparently it seems like I need to get my tonsils removed. All of that before our newborn gets here, because I cannot be incapacitated for 2 weeks while we have a 2-week-old. So I got to figure that out, or just wait like a year and a half so that I'm not doing that while we have a newborn. I don't know. If you guys don't know, we are almost 19 weeks pregnant with a baby girl, and she'll be here in April. Anyway, Mitch Shaw, Mike Lowry, Crypto Set Guy, the first half of the second third. Say that again. So broke our investment up into 3 parts. We deployed all of the first part. We deployed half of the second part. We have not deployed any of the third part. So that's what I mean by that. I know that's a little bit confusing, but basically it ends up being that we've deployed the first third and the second half of the second third, which adds up to being half of the total investment round. Anyway, getting tonsils removed when you're an adult is an absolute beast. Yeah, do not recommend. Yeah, does not sound very fun. Welcome back, Jebb Bankman, not Friedman. I really would not want to be Sam Bankman-Fried right now. That poor guy has the entire world after him. Guys, by the way, there is a very exciting announcement that I want to make for you guys, and it's none other than this. Lux Algo, which we have been sharing with you guys for the last 18 months, has something very special going on, and it's their final lifetime sale. If you guys do not know, Black Friday is coming up. And if you get Lux Algo right now, with the link in the description box down below, you can get lifetime access to Lux Algo. And you can do that with this button right down here. Click the link down below and check this out. You can get lifetime access to Lux Algo for $997 when it's normally $68 a month. The yearly plan is $500, and not only that, the plan ends November 29th, and I literally have a direct message from the CEO of Lux Algo himself telling me Lux Algo lifetime is gone for good and it's never coming back. Those are his words, not mine. I'm paraphrasing, but he said it is literally never coming back after November 29th. This is your last time to get Lux Algo lifetime and never pay monthly for it ever again and save, as it says here, infinity. On top of that, they released a new feature called the backtesting system. For all of you guys, and I've been really looking forward to sharing this with you guys because this has been, I've heard about this for a few weeks, but I've been under kind of a handshake NDA to not tell you guys about this, but I am so excited about this. This is a backtesting system for indicators, and it is the best in the industry. Backtest and optimize everything from Lux Algo all in one script, but you only get it with lifetime. You are not going to get this with the monthly subscription. You only get this with the lifetime access. Infinite strategies in one single script. Full optimization and backtesting for building and testing an unlimited amount of professional trading strategies. So you literally get to go in here with an algorithm and backtest everything in Lux Algo to see what's profitable. And as you can see, it was showing it right there for a second. It'll show you the win rate of your different strategies. Remember how we've been talking about for a long time that you can pretty much just use Lux Algo as your only indicator and you'll do pretty well? We don't recommend that because you want to use a lot of different indicators, but if you did only use Lux Algo, you could literally use this system to figure out what the best win rate is of all the different indicators and then use that and go make a ton of money in trading. If you are a full-time trader and you want to make as much money as possible, one of the best ways to do that, if you go really in-depth in technical analysis, is to do backtesting. And this is hands down the master class, world-class backtesting indicator, and you only get it with lifetime access on Lux Algo, which you can get with the link in the description box down below. So we're going to be using Lux Algo quite a bit today because, first of all, we're doing a lot of technical analysis today, and Lux Algo is my favorite technical indicator. It has been for the year and a half that I've been using it. I love Lux Algo, and I would use it every single day, even if I were not a YouTuber and even if they were not a sponsor of this channel, because I love them that much. This indicator is incredible. So we're going to be using it a lot today. So let me just go ahead and prove to you why I love Lux Algo so much, because I want you to understand that the reason I love it is because of its merit. Not just because I'm friends with the CEO who created it, although I am, and he's a great guy, and I really appreciate the moral integrity that goes on behind the scenes with Lux Algo. Let's just go ahead and show you out here on the daily chart the strategy that I use for the last, let's go back 3 years. So we want to go back to November of 2019. The strategy that I use on Lux Algo is as follows. Very simple, and then I add a few things onto it, and this has become a very common strategy in the space, and I kind of pioneered this with Lux Algo. What we see here are that Lux Algo gives us buy signals and it gives us sell signals. Some of those signals are weak as a normal buy or sell signal, and then some of them are strong. If you see a strong red signal right here, it is a strong sell signal. But you don't want to just go off of the buy signal or the sell signal. Remember, one of the tenets of technical analysis is that you don't want to just go off of one indicator. Now, Lux Algo, contrary to some people's belief, is not one indicator. It's an indicator package of dozens of indicators. So if you are using Lux Algo, you can use different parts of Lux Algo to confirm itself. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're using this buy signal right here, but we want to look for confirmation. The trend catcher, which is this line right here, did not turn green. So I, under my strategy, would consider this an unconfirmed signal. This right here would be, in theory, a confirmed signal to the downside, but we were already red. In fact, neither of these signals are confirmed by trend catcher. The last signal on the daily chart for Lux Algo that was confirmed was this one, because we had green trend catcher, which led into a sell signal, which then had confirmation on that trend catcher. So let's just go ahead and do this. Using this strategy, and I'll kind of explain it as I go, I'm going to use a red line, a red vertical line, to show you every single time we've had a confirmed sell signal in the past 3 years, going back to November of last year, on the exact day, as close as I can get while I'm doing this live, to when that strong sell signal or sell signal in general was confirmed. And in fact, I'm going to make this a little bit easier. I'm just going to go in here and turn off for now. We'll bring them back here in a second. I'm going to turn off for now these other parts of Lux Algo, the reversal zone and the EQ cloud. They are important, and we'll come back to them. But for right now, just to make it a little more easy to see, I'm going to turn them off. So we're going to use red here to denote all of the confirmed sell signals, because I just want you to see how powerful this signal, this indicator is, because we're going to be using it for the majority of today's stream to look at Bitcoin and the other markets. I'm going to show you all of the confirmed sell signals. You may notice that I'm not putting a vertical line over every sell signal. This one's not confirmed because it's actually just a repeat of this sell signal, so we can safely ignore that and that. This buy signal I'll come back to when I denote all of the actual confirmed buy signals. This is the way that you want to use an indicator, guys. You don't want to just look at an indicator and say, okay, well, the indicator says this, so I'm going to go with it. I'm actually going to go back to about here in 2018 to show you all these signals here. And then, if I zoom out, you'll be able to see all of the confirmed sell signals in the last 3 to 4 years or so on Bitcoin. Let's now go in here and draw a vertical blue line over all of the confirmed buy signals so that we can backtest. This is a very rudimentary way of backtesting an indicator. If you were using Lux Algo's backtesting script here, this would be a whole lot easier, and I may end up making a video on this script myself. So we'll see about that, but you can only get this for the next 8 days with lifetime, and then this backtesting system is gone for good. This is not on sale after the lifetime sale is over, just so you know. Like, there's only 8 days left in all of history to get this, as far as I can tell, so make sure you get lifetime right now. Anyway, again, let's go ahead and draw a blue line over all of these different buy signals that are actually confirmed. And remember, Lux Algo is not a perfect system. It is not a perfect technical indicator. No indicator is. That might be purple. If it is, you guys can laugh at me in the comments because I'm colorblind. Let's just go ahead and draw all of these, and I will show you what the last several years of Lux Algo signals have given you if you were a professional trader using it as you should. And again, this is a very simple method. I'm not actually using all of the confirmations that I would. I normally wouldn't just go off of both of these confirmations. I would usually go off of a few more. So just so you know, this is a little bit of a rudimentary way of doing this. I would normally use even more confirmations than this. But if you're only using the very basis of the strategy. Let's just take a look at what all of the sell signals did and see how they perform. We'll just keep track of every single one of these that would have made you money. So right here, the market was trading at $7,000 when we got confirmed because we saw a strong sell signal, and then whichever is the second of the two is where the confirmation comes in. So we saw the strong sell signal, then soon thereafter we saw trend catcher turn red. Where the trend catcher turned red, we're going to just draw to whenever we see a confirmed sell signal. The first of the sell signals, going back 4 years on daily chart for Bitcoin, and this strategy works on every single time frame. It works beautifully on all of them. We saw a 42% drop. If you went into a short trade there, you would have done well. Here, this is the next confirmed sell signal, would have gone in right here, a 21% drop. So right now we're 2 for 2. Moving on over here, you can see that the strong sell signal dropped just strictly from strong sell to buy signal was negative 2%. But realistically, you probably would have tried to sell one of these lows down here and made 20%. So we're 3 for 3. Moving on here, you can see drop 56% to the next confirmation, down 22%. So we're 4 for 4. Over here, we saw a strong sell signal, drop 13% in the next 4 days. By the time it confirmed, which actually this should be right there because that's where the confirmation came in. From here, you can see it pretty much traded sideways. But again, this sell signal did give you a heads up on some of these. So we're pretty much 5 for 5. You could maybe argue that that one's not the best signal in the world. This one right here, going down to the next one, negative 34%. We're 6 for 6, maybe 5.5 for 6, if you will. Here, negative 5%. We're 7 for 7. I'll just keep it simple. 7 for 7. 8 for 8. Continuing on here. 9 for 9. I mean, we saw a bearish movement over the next 4 or 5 days after this. 8 for 8. Then we have another sell signal that has seen a massive drop on Bitcoin. 9 for 9. So that's just a very simple explanation of why I use Lux Algo. And by the way, that's not involving the fact that we look at the reversal zones, that we look at the EQ cloud, that we look at Lux Oscillator, that we look at SR and Patterns Premium, that we look at the rest of the technical indicator package before we make a definitive call on what the market's going to do next. And that's what we're going to do here in a minute. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and see what we believe Bitcoin's going to do next using Lux Algo and using other technical indicators. We're going to look at VPVR and all these things. But I just want to prove to you why Lux Algo is so powerful really quickly here. Now, let's go ahead and go back to the chart that we were just on and look at the buy signals, because the sell signals were 9 for 9. If you want, you could say 8.5 for 9, right? Let's look at the confirmed buy signals. This buy signal from buy to sell, up 182%. Next confirmed buy signal, pretty much traded sideways, although you did, if you use this signal, get a 24% jump, and you may have bought up here and realized that it was losing strength, or sold up here, so you realized it was losing strength right here, and sold. If you had to use things like EQ Cloud, for example, bring up EQ Cloud right here. I have a feeling, I don't know, so we'll see. I have a feeling you would have seen that, yep, so buy signal was in, but EQ Cloud was extremely bearish, so when we dropped out of the EQ Cloud right here, you probably would have jumped out of the trade and made 1 or 2%, and you probably would have realized when you weren't breaking bullish out of the EQ Cloud right here, that you were not actually going to go into an uptrend, and you were going to go into a downtrend, and you probably, if you were using Lux Algo properly, you would have exited right here, which means if you had to follow that strategy and the fullness of the strategy, not just the simple one, you would have made 7%. So that was a little bit more technical. You can kind of call that a wash if you want. Maybe call that a half, kind of like what we did earlier. So we're pretty much, let's say 1.5 for 2 there, because that was a pretty good signal. Wasn't the best of them because the market moves so quickly. Here, easy profit. Here's another one. Easy profit. Just draw it anywhere. You're going to see it. We're 4 for 5. We're 4.5 for 5, 5 for 5, whatever you want to say. Boom, 400%. This is, I mean, it's so straightforward. 6 for 6, 7 for 7, 8 for 8. I may have lost count here. Forgive me if I did and I'm one off. Here you can see this one's a little bit more technical. So we saw the trend catcher turn green, then we saw the buy signal come into play. We go from right here over to here. Okay, fine. So there you go. There's one that is technically bearish from the buy signal to when the sell signal got confirmed. But again, same thing. If you bring in the rest of the strategy here, let's just backtest this. We're doing manual backtesting is what we're doing right now. You would have seen, okay, there was a buy signal, and we weren't even able to get barely past the halfway mark on an extremely bearish EQ cloud. Using the full strategy, you would have more than likely exited up here somewhere, and using the full strategy, not just this overly simplified one that I'm showing you, you probably would have exited in 3 to 5% profit on that buy signal. And again, we're using only one time frame, which you would never do. Moving on here, this sell signal was bullish, and you're pretty much on the sell signal sitting 8.5 for 9, and on the buy signals you're sitting at least 7 for 9. So you tell me whether that's a good win rate or not. I think that's a very, very strong win rate with only 2 of the dozens of technical indicators I show. Anyway, again, the reason I showed you that was because we're going to be using a lot of Lux Algo today and over the rest of this week, because I want to show you guys why you should get the lifetime deal so that you can get that backtesting system and so that you never have to pay the monthly fee ever again and save tons of money, because you're going to use Lux Algo for years. I've been using Lux Algo for years, and by having the lifetime deal, I've been able to save a lot of money. So I'm really looking forward to you guys being able to get that. But let's go ahead and read chat here for just a second, and then we're going to jump into the technical analysis. Guys, make sure that you hit that like button if you're enjoying today's stream. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And yeah, let's go ahead and read the chat. Let's go ahead and read the chat. Let's see. My wife and I are 20 weeks with a girl. It's exciting. It is very exciting. It is very exciting. Getting tonsils removed when you're an adult is absolute beast. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, that is pretty. That sounds pretty rough. When crypto YouTubers bearish, I'm bullish. Hey, there is a lot to be said about counter trading the trend. I really do. I really do understand that, but I want you guys to understand why I'm doing this. So that's why we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, and we're probably, to be honest with you, going to be looking at a few others like Cardano, because Cardano's in free fall right now, and there could be some wonderful buying opportunities, and Lux Algo is going to give us a lot of information about where we should purchase and where we should go into those buy orders. So let's go ahead and continue on here with the technical analysis on Bitcoin. Now, looking down on the hourly chart, now that we understand how to use Lux Algo and why Lux Algo is so powerful, I want to show you guys what we are doing down here. I'm going to go ahead and remove drawings and just show you what Lux Algo has shown so far using just a few of the indicators here in the package. Now, Lux Algo has Lux Algo Premium, Lux Algo SR and Patterns Premium. It's also got Smart Money Concepts right here, which is free. You can see all the different technical indicators coming into play right now. And you can see right down here, Lux Oscillator coming in as well. A lot to go over. We're just going to go ahead and use some of the more basic things for now. But one of the things to keep in mind about Lux Algo is that when the market is moving sideways, you are going to have a little bit of a hard time. You're going to have a little bit of a hard time getting confirmed signals. You can see we had a confirmed buy signal right here, but then both of these are nixed because they were never confirmed by Trendcatcher. This sell signal was never confirmed by Trendcatcher, which leads this buy signal just to be a repeat of that. This sell signal was never confirmed by Trendcatcher, which leads this to be a repeat of those buy signals. So these four signals are invalid based on the setting, based on the strategy. It's not that there's anything wrong with them showing up. It could show you that there's some pressure going in a certain direction. You should pay attention to them, but you don't want to call it a confirmed signal. On the other hand, we saw a strong sell signal come in here, and we're like, okay, yada, yada, yada. The market's trading sideways, whatever. But then Trendcatcher turned red, and that's when things changed. That happened on this candlestick. We're on the hourly chart right now. That happened on this candlestick right here. And you can see after Trendcatcher turned red, that's this line right here, just starting at this candlestick, if you want to be a little bit more bearish, but it probably turned red right around here in the middle of the candlestick, you can see the market drop 4%. So that's why you wait for the confirmation. One of the things I want you guys to know also, and this is not Lux Algo, this is just a pattern that I want you guys to see, is that right now Bitcoin is sitting in a bearish descending triangle pattern. Right now, it's sitting in, you could almost argue that this is a symmetrical triangle pattern, but I'd say that's a bit of a stretch. I'd say that really what we're looking at is, in general, a bearish descending triangle pattern with a flat level of support, and it might be more accurate to call it a zone of support. So let's just go ahead and draw a zone right here with a rectangle. You can see that showing up right there. The fact is, whether you want to call it a descending triangle pattern or not is a bit pedantic, because if you look at 2018, I'll just go ahead and I'll leave those up for now, actually. But if you look at 2018, you can see that Bitcoin was in a very similar pattern here. You can see it was in there was a falling falling trend line, and then a flat level of support right here, and Bitcoin ended up breaking bearish out of it. And looking on the daily chart, just looking at Lux Algo, you can see something similar happened here that's happening right now down on the hourly chart in our current era. We were seeing sideways movement, and we were seeing buy and sell signals come in that were invalid because they weren't actually getting confirmed. But then we saw the market. Well, actually, the market was already under a strong sell signal. So what happened is you saw the EQ cloud started to open up right here. We saw one massive candlestick, and then this is where another part of our strategy is going to come in. We're going to look at the reversal zones here, and you're going to see that the market started dropping, and it hit down here into the EQ cloud. One of the things to keep in mind about the EQ cloud is that kind of like Bollinger Bands, these are not Bollinger Bands, but they're kind of similar in part of the way you read them, is that whenever they get really constricted like this, that oftentimes means a big volatile movement is coming out. Remember, there's a trend in markets in market dynamics that whenever the market is very volatile, you can expect a period of low volatility to come at some point in the future, just because it's the opposite and the market changes. When it's at low volatility, and the longer it's been lowly volatile, the more you can expect high volatility to come into the picture. So if you've seen extremely high volatility for a year, you can expect the volatility is going to drop off at some point soon. If you've seen low volatility for 6 months, then you can expect that high volatility is going to come back at some point soon. And that's what the Lux Oscillator, sorry, not Lux Oscillator, that's what Lux, the reversal zone, Lux Algo reversal zones are telling us. And that's actually how you would have used the strategy here. And I'm about to tie this back into today's technical analysis because we're trying to make a prediction right now using our indicators and using our technical analysis knowledge. When we dropped into the reversal zone, that was the first time that Bitcoin had touched the reversal zone since back here. In fact, before that, Bitcoin had barely touched the reversal zone on the daily chart going back to the last bear market. So when you saw Bitcoin drop into the reversal zone right here using historical analysis and again, backtesting, again, all of this would be a lot easier if you had the backtesting system, but using the backtesting that we're able to do on the chart, the very basic form of backtesting that we're able to do here, when we dropped bearish into this zone, that showed us, okay, there's a waterfall going on. There's a cascading liquidation event going on in the market. There were a lot of longs getting liquidated back then and a massive drop going on in the space. So how do we apply that to today's market? Well, right now, as I said in the stream title, and as I'm telling you right now, I expect that we're probably going to see some bearishness. And a big part of the reason for that is because we just saw the same thing happen on the daily chart, and we're seeing the same thing happen on the hourly chart. Just like in 2018, on the daily chart, we're already under a sell signal that has already been confirmed. Then we saw another strong sell signal come in to negate this buy signal. We dropped through the EQ cloud. Now we're dropping down into the reversal zone for the first time going back here. You see how there's a lot of parallel between this market right here, and then if we just go back in time to this market right over here, you can see how there was a strong sell signal that got reconfirmed. We dropped down into the EQ cloud, which was already constricting, and we touched the EQ cloud, the bearish one, for the first time since a long time ago. That's what we're seeing happen right now. We're seeing the market do the exact same thing by having a strong sell signal. Then we saw another one get confirmed, and we saw the reversal zones converging right here, indicating a big volatile movement was likely to come. Then, of course, we had the black swan of FTX going under, which was a nightmare, but it was the perfectly timed black swan to cause a huge dump on the market. And we saw the market drop into the reversal zone for the first time since a long time ago. What we see happen next is very interesting, because if Bitcoin does for some reason bounce and come out of this EQ cloud, then that could mean that we're basically just setting up for a short-term recovery followed by another big drop to the downside, considering we're still under this strong sell signal. But down here on the hourly chart, the story is a little bit different, because down the hourly chart, we're seeing almost the same thing from 2018 and from the daily chart, where we're seeing the market had EQ cloud converging. We saw a signal that was kind of becoming invalid just because it had been sideways for so long. Then we saw a strong sell signal that got confirmed. We broke down here into the reversal zone. We touched the reversal zone for the first time in a long time, and that indicates a cascading movement. So we're having a cascading movement to the downside, baked into a cascading movement to the downside, very similar to what we saw in 2018, and we're able to get all of that information because of what we're able to read here on Lux Algo. Now, the thing I do want you to keep in mind is that Bitcoin does have an argument to be made about ranging sideways here for a while. This strong sell signal also comes with a take profit zone, 2 take profits. One of the zones is here around $16,200, and the other one's down here around bottoms out at 15,810. This is the zone of taking profit. So if you were in this short trade, a lot of people are taking profits right now, and that's where all the fighting's coming in. A lot of people are buying up these dips whenever we drop down, but going down to the 15-minute chart, if we're not able to continue buying up these dips that we're seeing go on down here, and we start breaking things like this trend line that we're sitting on the 15-minute chart. We're doing all this TA live, guys. This is all stuff that I'm doing live. I did not pre-analyze this chart at all. I like going into charts completely fresh. I don't like going into charts having done a ton of analysis beforehand, because I want you to see my process of discovery. I am discovering a lot of what I'm telling you live in the moment as it's happening. If Lux Algo does break to the downside below this uptrending level of support, we just saw a strong sell signal come in the last 15 minutes. If we see trend catcher dip to the downside, then we could see Bitcoin break below this uptrending level of support, dive towards this take profit zone, hit the reversal zone for the first time in several hours. As you can see right here, we're seeing the reversal zone converge on itself. So if you'll just remember, whenever the reversal zones are converging on themselves, that indicates that you're going to see a big volatile movement in the same way that we're seeing on the hourly chart and that we saw on the daily chart and that we saw way back when in 2018, we're seeing the exact same setup happen down here on the 15-minute chart, and is predicting a movement to the downside. Perfect timing. Look at that. Bitcoin's breaking the uptrend right now. Exactly what I was telling you. This is live, guys. This is not a pre-recorded video. This is live. You can go check your charts. And Lux Algo gave us all of this information. Again, we see that the market is having constricting reversal zones. The EQ cloud is very bearish. I have not even mentioned the EQ cloud, but it's part of the strategy as well. You can see there's a strong sell signal that just got confirmed. Now, the candlestick needs to close because you can see it's bouncing around in there. We don't know whether it's going to be a confirmed break to the downside yet or not. Looks like it's going to stay open for the next 15 minutes. But Bitcoin has to pretty much break to the upside if it doesn't want trend catcher to turn red. You see that? If Bitcoin does not break to the upside majorly here, then trend catcher turns red, and then we end up going to the downside with a strong sell signal. So again, reversal zones are constricting, indicating that there is an increasing likelihood of a highly volatile breakout. We see EQ cloud is bearish. We see sideways movement, but now we're seeing a strong sell signal to the downside that could potentially move us into the take profit zone, breaking a critical uptrending level of support. That is exactly what we are seeing happen and have seen happen on the hourly chart. On this longer term time frame, looking at this market here on the hourly chart for Bitcoin, that's the same thing that we saw happen here on this market on Bitcoin. And of course, going back to 2018, you guys will be able to see that the same thing happened back here. You had a lot of sideways movement, and you saw a trend catcher break to the downside along with a strong sell signal. You saw convergence of the EQ cloud, and then you saw it start moving towards the take profit zone. Same thing, guys. It's exactly what we're looking at right now. So my prediction, based on all of this analysis, is that over the next, and we'll see what happens, and it may not come to pass this way, but over the next 2 days or so, but potentially even much shorter than that because of what we're seeing on the 15-minute chart, over the next 2 days or so, I think you're going to see a break to the downside, at least down to the local low that we've seen before of $15,000, which would also represent the bottom of the reversal zone. But by the time we get down there, the reversal zone will probably be down here, for example. So we'd be right there in about the middle of the reversal zone, riding the reversal zone to the downside. Otherwise, we could see a slight break up, but I doubt we would get much above $16,200 because we're getting pretty comfortable down in this region. Look at the minute chart. Watch on the minute chart what we're doing. You see all of these candle wicks just over and over and over again, punching through support, punching through support, punching through support. We're doing it again, punching through support. On the minute chart, we have 4 lower lows, and they're all sitting down here towards the bottom of the Lux Algo reversal zone. Look down here. We have a strong sell signal coming in on the minute chart. You can see how all the time frames are working phenomenally with Lux Algo. Incredible indicator. We jumped down through the take profit. Okay, here's another thing to look at on Lux Algo. Just now, literally 5 seconds ago, we fell through the bottom of the take profit zone. That generally indicates extreme bearish pressure. And we also, as you can see on the wick right here, touched the bottom of the reversal zone for the first time since back then. Well, what happened when we touched the bottom of the reversal zone back then? We broke the support. So likely the same thing's going to happen on Lux Algo. We're going to keep moving to the downside. Look at this. Guys, this is live. This is the power of Lux Algo. If you aren't seeing this, you need to see this. Like, this is the greatest demonstration of Lux Algo I think that we've ever seen. And it just so happens to be on a day where you've got a great sale going on where you can get it for a lifetime and never have to pay full price for it ever again. And at the same time, get a backtesting system so you can do everything I'm showing you here 10 times more efficiently with a software built into TradingView to do this with. Okay, so here we go. We saw the candlestick break to the downside. Now what's happening? We're watching a crash happen live that we were able to predict with Lux Algo. See how the take profit zone just jumped to the downside. See how the take profit zone was up here, but see how it dropped down here because we saw a major red candlestick close, and now we're seeing the take profit jump all the way down to 15,830. Now this is basically like a magnet saying, hey, market, come on down here to the take profit zone. This is Lux Algo saying we're probably going to fall down here. Now we might not because we're getting a little overextended. We've fallen very far into this zone, but so long as we're in the reversal zone, you kind of just follow it. You just follow it. For the market to have any kind of confidence it's going to go to the upside now, what needs to happen is it needs to break the top part of the reversal zone and then do like this, and then maybe come out and bounce off of it and then move to the upside. That's pretty much what you need to see at this point. Because if you don't, then Lux Algo is basically telling us that you're just going to keep following the reversal zone ad infinitum until it finds some major level of support. And remember, out on the 15-minute chart, what were we saying? What were we saying? Lux Algo was telling us, based on this strong sell signal, based on the take profits, based on the EQ cloud, based on the EQ cloud, based on the reversal zones converging, that we're likely going to see a break of this uptrending level of support, and we're probably going to fall down into the take profit zone. I mean, this is happening live. This is literally, this is all recorded. I've been talking about this for the last 34 minutes, and you can go back and watch what I've said, and then you can see what the market did. It's all lining up, and Lux Algo is what's giving us these signals. So all the credit goes to them. All I'm doing is reading the technical indicator. Going to go to full screen here for just a second and read some chat, but I'm going to keep a very close eye on Bitcoin as well, and we'll keep checking in on it to see how it's doing. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. It's really important to understand if it's not your keys, not your coin, whatever they try to do, they can't kill Bitcoin. It's up to us to protect our coins. Absolutely. By the way, shout out to Crypto Mini Bike. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. And you can't predict when Coinbase goes down. We all know it's going to happen. I don't know if Coinbase is going to go down, but what I can say is that if Coinbase does go down, that's really bad. And you see a five-figure Bitcoin. Sorry, four-figure Bitcoin. Easily a four-figure Bitcoin. Jebb got off to a late start for today's show. I did, and I'm really sorry about that. It's my own fault. We've had a lot of health stuff going on. Jeff, can I use Lux Algo for crypto and stock market? Yes, it is just as effective on the stock market. In fact, a lot of the people that use it do use it on the stock market. Let's see. Jebb, do you think I'm thinking about starting to do some part-time trading? Do you think Lux Algo Lifetime will cover most of my needs? If you're doing trading part-time, yeah, it will cover most of your needs. If you're going to get one paid technical indicator, I think Lux Algo is the one to go for, hands down. I've used a lot of the other ones. I don't necessarily have anything against a lot of the other ones, but I think Lux Algo is the best of them. And also, by the way, guys, before Lux Algo came around, paid indicators were a lot of times they like had a bad rep. Lux Algo single-handedly reversed the reputation of the entire concept of a paid indicator package because they came in so legit. Why have you not been in the studio? Because I've been sick. I cannot shake this cold. I am so sick. And my wife is feeling very bad. I mean, she's got morning sick. She has something called hyperemesis, so she vomits like several times a day and has almost no energy and can faint. We were at the cardiologist twice last week for some potential heart issues. Luckily, it seems like everything's okay with that. But a lot of concerns going there. Sitting here drinking my coffee and got my metal cards for my key phrases. Sitting here stamping my key phrase and hanging out with you guys. Boom. Crypto Mini Bike. I'll help keep you. I'll help you just post some of your phrases here and I'll stamp them for you. There you go. That's funny. All right. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump back onto the chart and take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. And actually, somebody's asking about the Dixie, so let's look at the Dixie. The Dixie's actually been growing relatively well over the last couple of days. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there is the inflation is coming down and the U.S. economy is starting to do a little bit better, and we're still seeing those interest rates hike. The thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that interest rates are likely going to only come in at, and I can show you here on CME Futures, interest rates are likely going to come in at a 50 basis point rate hike, but that's still a rate hike. So just keep that in mind. Rate hikes are likely going to slow down, but it's still a rate hike. And they could do another 50 basis point here in February. And if they do, that would put the rates all the way up to 5%. Then in March, they'd probably do another 25 basis point rate hike. And then you would start to see it plateau in March. So it could still be 5 months before we see a plateau on interest rates, which means that there is still a lot of strength coming in for the Dixie. And on top of that, if you remember this trend line I drew, this is really fun because I drew this trend line before the market went here. You can see this trend line right here that I drew based on a lot of this action on Dixie. You can see that the market dropped right down to it. I may be mistaken, but I think I drew that trend line before we came down here. Maybe I did use that as an anchor point. You'd have to go back in the streams and check. But regardless, it's currently sitting off of this uptrend and bouncing a little bit as it is responding well to all of the, as the U.S. dollar is responding well to all of the different rate hikes that have happened in the last several months, as we've seen rates hiking on the U.S. dollar much faster than we've seen in the other cryptocurrency markets. Now, something I do want to show you also is that on Bitcoin, on the total market capitalization charts, this is a chart that shows you total market capitalization of all crypto. So total market capitalization of all cryptos right now is sitting around $800 to $750 billion, depending on who you ask. CoinMarketCap puts it at 800. TradingView puts it at $750 billion. Regardless, 800 or 750, both of them are actually very important levels of support. And right now, we're seeing total cryptocurrency market capitalization sitting on $750 billion in support as a level of support. So we need to pay very close attention to that to see if it's going to break bearish there. But one of the things I also want to show you happening is over here on ADA. As you guys know, Cardano is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, and it's been having a hard time relatively recently. Let's go ahead and use some of the strategies that we've learned on Bitcoin to take a look at Cardano. Well, remember the kind of setup that we were looking at. EQ Cloud is sideways, slightly bearish, following a bearish trend. We see signals here that are invalid. This one is, this is technically valid because trend catcher came in, but I really wouldn't have used this signal because it's a very weak one. It's not a strong buy signal. We hit reversal zone and then crashed. EQ Cloud was pretty bearish. I mean, this was just not, this was technically a confirmed signal based on trend catcher, but I would not have used it. So really, we're going to knock out both of these and say there's a strong sell signal over here that called all of this on ADA. Then we saw a buy signal here that frankly was not a terrible buy signal because we'd set a new local low at 33 cents. We literally bought Cardano right here at the exact bottom. Now we're dropping even further, but we bought at the exact bottom right there. These two blue lines are our two entries. We entered right here. We entered right here and we entered right here. Excuse me. We did not enter on here. That was October 21st. We entered over here. I apologize. Here at 33 cents we entered. Well, we saw a strong sell signal come in because we had a buy signal that went in. We did not get halfway through the EQ cloud. That indicated that it was a false buy signal. And then we saw a strong sell signal come in, confirmed the same day by Lux Algo, trend catcher. And now you can see the market's moving pretty far to the downside. The take profit on Lux Algo's sell signal right now is starting at 25 cents, drops all the way down to 10 cents. Now we're on the log chart. We're getting very close to the bottom of what is possible because it can't go negative, of course. So we want to understand that as we get this low, take profits could be a little bit skewed. But I believe the top of the take profit here on Lux Algo makes sense because it would indicate that we'd be going all the way back down to the reversal zone. You can see we dived into the reversal zone back here in October. It would quite frankly make sense if we did it again. Looking down on, let's just say the 4-hourly chart, something I want you to take note of is that Cardano right now is under a sell signal that it has been under ever since back up here. This is November 6th. If you'll remember, Sam Bankman-Fried, which I actually, wow. I was about to say Sam Bankman-Fried's name, and I was like, wow, I need to censor myself because I had the same reaction to his name that I have to when I'm like reading an article and there's a curse word in there and I need to censor myself. I literally had the same reaction. I was like, oh, I can't say that on YouTube. Or like the word for the pandemic that I am tempted to say, but then I can't say because I'll get shut down. I had that reaction. That's how tarnished his name is. Poor guy. I don't feel bad for him. He did it to himself. Anyway, Cardano here. What I was saying is that down here on the 4-hourly chart, it had a confirmed sell signal right here on the 6th when Sam Bankman-Fried, again, I had the same reaction, when Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX went under right here. So the sell signal actually preceded that news because the market was already moving down. We saw EQ Cloud turn red. We dropped here into the reversal zones. And now the reversal zones are converging quite substantially, which again indicates that at some point soon, because these reversal zones are getting so close, you're going to see a highly volatile breakout. And with the current state of the market and with what we're looking at on Bitcoin, I would be personally surprised if that movement was a break to the upside on Cardano. And if it was, I don't think it would be a very strong one. Cardano's technology is ridiculously strong right now. Its price is not, and that's not a bad thing. Just to go to bat for Cardano here for a second, Cardano does have some very difficult times ahead of it for its price, but it's had that happen before. Just taking Lux Algo off for a second here so we can look back into the history of ADA. I might have to go to another one of my ADA charts. Let's see if this chart right here. Yes, this chart has more of the history. Let's see. This one has the full history of ADA going back into October 2017, right around the time I got into space. It dropped, grand scheme of things, 98% from $1.35 all the way down to 1.8 cents. And then it went on to rally 10,000 some percent, 16,000% up to $3.30. I'm not worried about the price of Cardano, guys, because the Cardano price is not the thing that I'm really needing to focus on. I'm focused on the fundamentals and the community and Charles Hoskinson and all the developers and scientists and technologists that are working on Cardano and what it's going to do for humanity. Obviously, Cardano has a long way to go price-wise to catch up with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I do think it is going to do that. Ethereum, on the other hand, already has a ton of usage. And funnily enough, Ethereum has actually managed to maintain a higher low than what Bitcoin and what Cardano have done. You can see Bitcoin has set lower lows here. ADA has set lower lows here compared to what we saw back in May. Ethereum has not. So that could mean two things. Number one, it could indicate that Ethereum is very strong right now, which it is, or it could indicate that Ethereum is actually going to have another major drop down here to a similar low that we're seeing happen on BTC and ADA, which could potentially drop it down to like $700. If Ethereum drops down to $700, $800, you can bet your bottom dollar, your bottom Satoshi, that I'm going to be buying that. You can see we've had a similar thing going on here that we saw happen in a lot of the other markets. You saw converging reversal zones here. You saw sideways movement, bearish EQ cloud, and you saw a buy signal come in where we got rejected very harshly. And then the strong sell signal came in here, instantly got confirmed, and now we're dropping down into the take profit zone, which drops all the way down to $874. Lux Algo gave us strong information on all of those metrics. So let's go ahead and read chat here for a little bit more. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Thank you guys so very much for all of your support. Opus1 said, "Hey Jebb, what's your preference on trading BTC versus USD pairs? I feel BTC is the way to go. Just curious, as you always demand, sir." Thank you, Opus. I believe that what you want to do is you want to use both and see if there is something showing up on the technicals on both of them. Primarily if you're in the top 10. If you are looking at something like a number 50, number 60, number 70 cryptocurrency, then you're probably not going to have a lot of success trading it over US dollar tether, USDC, certainly not UST, pun intended, joke intended. But on Ethereum or on Cardano or something, you're going to have a lot of success trading it over both and doing analysis on it over both. Trading it doesn't really matter what you trade it on, but as far as doing the analysis on, because the larger cryptocurrencies typically have a US dollar and a Bitcoin trading pair. A lot of the lower cap cryptocurrencies do not have a US dollar backed trading pair with a US dollar stablecoin trading pair. So a lot of times the technical analysis over there is not being used very often, so it doesn't have as many eyes on it, so not as many people are actually utilizing it to its fullest. So that's what I'd say about that. Greg said he couldn't even look at his ADA holdings right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. Jebb, we've never been in this macro environment with high inflation before. If we have another bull run by 2024, we get hyperinflation. I don't think we won't get a bull run anytime soon. A lot of sideways. I think you're going to see a lot of sideways. I don't know if you would send the US dollar into hyperinflation by Bitcoin going into a bull market, though. I think that's a stretch because Bitcoin and crypto is a very small fraction of the global economy. And I don't think it has the impact to do that. Now, maybe what you're saying is that if we see a lot of inflation on the US dollar, then that would drive a lot of people to Bitcoin, and that would be the problem. But yeah, I don't know if I would agree with that. I'd love to have a debate in terms of the Basho era in terms of no tech in ADA. Yeah, that is a very interesting allegation that I hear about Cardano quite a lot. That's how I'll put that. All right. Well, let's see. Sitting here drinking my coffee. Yep, we read that one. If Charles would stop calling people conspiracy theorists, ADA would do all right. Yeah, Charles is definitely, he's a firecracker. We must hydrate and drink more fluids besides coffee. Think water, lemon, orange juice, load up on vitamin C, knock out that cough and headache, feel better soon. Think more of hydration. Yeah, we're going to try and go to the gym today. I'm hoping getting back in the gym will help. Jebb, can we do a poll on who uses Lux Algo and who doesn't? Sure, let's do it. I'm going to say yes. And there you go. A lot of you guys probably don't. And the reason for that is a lot of you guys are not technical analysts. A lot of you guys just want to watch this stream. And so that's fine. If you want to just watch the stream and see what Lux Algo is doing. But if you're actually an analyst yourself and you're doing anything on the chart, it is worth every single penny. I expect the majority of you guys to say not yet. And the reason is because the vast majority of you guys are not actually analysts, but a lot of you are actually just watching the stream. Not all of you, and you guys know who you are, and that's fine either way. But there's so many of you guys that are not using Lux Algo and should be, and those are the people that I'm really hoping will take advantage of this lifetime sale. And if you already have a membership with Lux Algo, you should go get the lifetime sale anyway, because that's the last time you're ever going to get it, and you're going to be getting access to that backtesting software, which is absolutely remarkable. Can we get a Bible verse of the week? I need more God's word in my life. Amen. For the wages of sin is death, and the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus. our Lord. Romans 6:23. That's one of my favorites to remind us of why we need our God. In your opinion, where would hyperinflation come from, Jebb? It would come from the United States government shutting down the global economy and printing a ton of money. Wait, that already happened. It would also come from the U.S. dollar being not depegged. It would come from the U.S. dollar being removed as the world reserve currency. The world reserve currency is very unlikely to be a currency that that is going to go through hyperinflation because it has the backing of the rest of the world on it. But if for some reason the United States dollar lost its world reserve currency status, then it would be a lot more possible for that. What is your opinions on MicroStrategy and buy zones, strong support areas to look at? I missed the live stream notification. Sorry, Silent. Yes, we were late, so that probably had something to do with it. We can look at MSTR. By the way, guys, if you don't know, there's actually a interview with myself and Michael Saylor on this channel, so make sure to go and check that out. It was an incredible interview. It happened about 8 months ago, and I really, really appreciate his time. As far as MicroStrategy is concerned, let's take a look at some basic analysis. There's an uptrend right here. I have not analyzed this because I'm not an investor in MicroStrategy, so I'm doing all this live. There's a downtrend right here. It is obviously following Bitcoin very closely. February 2021 topped out at $13.18 a share. Right now it's down 88%. Makes sense. Had a blow off top. MicroStrategy went through all of this rally because of its hype. It's not that MicroStrategy sucks and that's why it lost 88% of its value. It's that it rallied too far in the first place because of all of the hype that Michael Saylor was bringing to it. So if you're an investor in MicroStrategy, don't expect to stay up here in the $600, $700, $800 range. This is unlikely to continue. We probably will never see these zones again on MicroStrategy, but that doesn't mean that there aren't places that you can make good money. And for example, here you can see the earnings calls right here. Standardized, reported, estimated. So they're missing earnings calls by a little bit. Some of that does have to do with their Bitcoin strategy. But what you also need to keep in mind is that when Bitcoin does go up, they have so much money in Bitcoin that their stock's probably going to rally too. I don't know if MicroStrategy would ever go back to all-time high just because, not with the current value of the US dollar, just because there's so much, there was so much of this price that was coming from hype. But I do see MicroStrategy could quadruple in value. I could easily see MicroStrategy going to $600 as a result of all of their Bitcoin holdings. Looking at Lux Algo here, let's take a look at them. A lot of this price action has to do with just very strong fundamental things. But in the shorter term here, you can see a strong sell signal came into play right here. It got confirmed the day before, actually. So we saw this. We had a gap drop down here. And Lux Algo, again, this is a stock. So you can see Lux Algo does very well in the stock market as well. It called this drop, this buy signal over here, called this movement to the upside. This sell signal came in a little bit later, but it was actually confirmed up here. So you could have got into this a little bit earlier if you knew what you were doing when you saw the EQ clouds starting to converge like this. This buy signal was a little bit late, but remember, we're trading sideways, so these sell signals and buy signals are a little bit wonky just because it's a trending indicator. It's a trending oscillator. When you see a strong trend like this, boom, strong sell signal called most of it. Strong sell signal called most of it. There's a buy signal back over here on MicroStrategy as well. You see the buy signal right here called all of this. Incredible movement. Now, of course, this buy signal had no way of knowing that Michael Saylor was going to become famous and MicroStrategy was going to blast off because they're Bitcoin holding. But nevertheless, this buy signal did come in, and right around here was an inflection point, August of 2020, and we took off. So Lux Algo works very, very well on the stock market as well. Something to keep in mind there. Good deal, guys. Well, Economist in Training Queen said, there you go. What's your opinion on Ethereum? I think Ethereum is an incredible project, and I'm very excited that Ethereum's 2.0 update went well. Hard bounce on ADA at 30 cents. I know you were hoping for that, Greg. I know you were hoping for that. I bought Charlie Lee's bags. Romans 127 said that, which you guys can go ahead and read on in there. I'm not going to jump into it. I didn't realize that we were starting a religious debate. Not jumping into that right now. I believe the Bible is the word of God, and I follow every word of it, but I'm not going to jump into any of the controversy right now. Let's see. Looks like we're going to go for another 7 minutes or so, and really exciting, I have an interview with a really big inspiration of mine coming up today, and he is none other than Nicholas Merton over at DataDash. I'm going to be interviewing him in just over an hour, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to have a great conversation. It's going to go up on our channel maybe in a couple of days. And yeah, it's going to be really good. Tell me, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? We have a bunch of family that are coming over for Thanksgiving, and we're really, really excited for Thanksgiving. I know a lot of you guys are not in the States, and so you probably don't celebrate that holiday, but if you do, I'd love to hear if you have any special plans for that. Someone asked about Coinbase. Let's see. That was Robbie. I see. Yes. Iacano. That's a cool name. I have no idea how to say it, but Iacano. Let's take a look at Coinbase. Sure. Let's look at the Coinbase stock. It can follow Bitcoin pretty closely as well. Coinbase stock here IPO'd back around the all-time high of Bitcoin when it hit 65,000. And it's been down. Sorry, I couldn't say it. It's been downhill ever since. Oh, man. I feel bad for anybody who invested in Coinbase when it IPO'd. You typically don't want to invest in an IPO when the IPO is going live at the beginning of in the middle of a massive rally in the industry that could come to a close anytime soon. Nevertheless, if you were going to buy Coinbase's stock, now probably wouldn't be a bad time. You can see they had some pretty good earnings over here. Estimate 1.817 billion reported, then 2 billion, then 1.3, 2.5, 1.16. That was a big drop in revenue. That's why this Coinbase dropped so much. I mean, they dropped 69, 70% in 14 days. They got wrecked because this earnings call came in half. I mean, golly. Look at this. Half. 2.5 billion, 1.16 billion. Then we saw 800 million. Then we saw 600 million. Coinbase is projected to make $600 million in quarter 4. And that'll be reported in February. But the fact is, Coinbase is a very strong company, even though it's lost a lot of its revenue. You might be wondering, well, how could it possibly be a strong company if it's lost a lot of its revenue? Well, the thing is, Coinbase has lost a lot of revenue, but it's also downsized. It is adjusted very well towards the bear market and has managed to maintain a lot of its core functionalities and systems while also growing features with a smaller workforce. So that's one of the things that's really encouraging here is that Coinbase has been able to continue operating in a way that has allowed them to actually continue to dominate the space, even though there's been a massive reduction in revenue. So seems like a bad thing on the surface, but not necessarily. I think you just cursed in Japanese, Jebb. Repent. Did I? I don't know. No idea. Collegeville Johnny said Thanksgiving is at my sister Stacy's. Should be fun. Boom. What's your favorite food on Thanksgiving? Ham and stuffing all the way. Turkey is overrated. I know it's like America's bird and everything. First of all, bald eagle makes a much cooler national bird. Can you imagine just charging into battle? And you've got this eagle just screeching behind you like it. Now just switch out the eagle for like a turkey running with the troops into battle. That is nowhere near as cool. It's nowhere near as cool. Thank God. If you don't know, the turkey was proposed to be the United States' national bird. Thank God that did not happen. Okay. I will look into the volume, but also let's not spam chat. Let's see here. When we look at the charts to see if the 85% drop from Bitcoin cycle is a pattern. Yes, it is a pattern. I can tell you that right now, but I will show you on the chart, and we'll look at Lux Algo while we're doing it. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. You can see back here, Bitcoin dropped 85 to 87% during that bear market. Right here during this bear market, dropped 86%. So far in this bear market, we have dropped 77%. If we dropped 85% like we have before, we go to $10,000. Also take a look. You can see this sell signal on weekly chart came in, predicted all of this movement. This buy signal came in, predicted all of this movement. Lux Algo is incredible on every single time frame, and do not forget to get it right here. You've got 8 days left to get Lux Algo Lifetime and get this backtesting script where it's literally going to show you the best settings, and you can actually find out the best win rates on all of your technical indicators in Lux Algo. It is an exclusive to lifetime. It is an exclusive to the lifetime deal on Lux Algo, and you're not going to get it anywhere else. Get lifetime right now for $997. Boom. There we go. Coinbase revenue will skyrocket during the next halving. Yeah, Coinbase stock is probably a very good one to be in, to be totally honest with you. Well, guys, if you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to sign up for Lux Algo with the link in the description box down below for a lifetime. You're not going to want to miss it. It is an incredible technical indicator. I really appreciate all of you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys at 1 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Turkey Day Eve. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the post notification bell, make sure to sign up for Lux Algo. That's all I got for you today. Before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.